Sport is a major component of the O'Malley's family DNA. Karen's parents, Donald and Sally, and her 7 older siblings' lives revolved around playing whatever sports were in season, attending each other's competitions, critiquing one another's performance, and discussing the strategies of the sport. So even though her birth on June 6, 1967 was pre-Title IX, Karen was destined to become an athlete in the Pergolder Nation. As a youth, she attended all her brothers and sisters' games, wanting to be like them. Any sport that the neighborhood boys played was the sport that Karen played. Brothers Mike and Pat took her to boys-only pickup games at St. Bernard's. On a nightly basis, her brother's teammates, especially Chucky Jones, and opponents, all older than Karen, challenged her to be the best. O'Malley believes that these experiences promoted her defensive toughness and helped her play in college. Early on, Karen excelled in baseball, playing shortstop and pitcher as the only girl on an East Madison Little League team and on the city recreation team, Professional Pest Control. Fondly, she remembers biking to the baseball fields with the boys and stuffing as many freeze pops into her back pockets as she could. She was a league all-star until age 16 and believed that softball was her athletic future. In 5th grade at St. Bernard's, Karen began to discover her passion for basketball. Guiding and fueling her love for the game was coaching from her first official coach, Sister Nancy, competing one-on-one in the driveway battles against Sister Peggy, and modeling herself after Sister Jackie, an all-city player. Karen would rate Peggy, who was not able to play organized sports, as the best and most competitive athlete in the O'Malley crew. O'Malley spent endless hours honing her ball handling and shooting against imaginary NBA players at the Hawthorne School playground hoops, while Dad watched through a hole in the fence during a break from work at Gardner's Bakery. He gave the mandatory parental critique later at home, which he now appreciates as pushing her to always work to improve. No matter how brutal the comments, Karen knew he was proud of her and that she was his little girl. Mom was always there too, lending her full support and offering encouragement when it was needed. Karen fully blossomed as a multi-sport athlete at Madison East under the guidance of coaches Charlie Magestro and Steve Benton. She made the varsity team in 3 sports, basketball, softball, and volleyball as a freshman, which Karen believes greatly enhanced her confidence as a teenager. Magestro, her Marquette School physical education teacher and East girls basketball coach, believed from the beginning that she would be good in anything she tried and that she could play basketball at the collegiate level. He instilled in her the 3 Ds, dedication, determination, and desire, and challenged her to dream the impossible dream. Under Benton, East counselor and basketball coach, Karen believes she flourished even more as a player and matured as a person. During her 4-year varsity career, she captained her team for 3 years and was a 3-time first-team All-Area, All-Conference, and All-City player. As a senior, Karen led her team to a 21-2 record while scoring 583 points for the season. Coaches and sportscasters named her City and Conference Player of the Year, and she achieved recognition as a first-team All-State player, adding to her previous 2 honorable mentions. Karen still holds the school record for points in a season, as well as for points in a career with 1,526. In addition to playing basketball, Karen played varsity volleyball for 3 years and varsity softball for 4 years. She captained the volleyball team in each of these years and was named to the All-City and All-Conference first team in her junior and senior years as a hitter. Karen was captain of the East varsity softball team for 3 years, was a 3-time All-Conference first team shortstop, and as a senior, was the first-team All-State shortstop. Sports competition at its best often makes lifelong friends, even amongst opponents. Karen's peer competitors were her slightly older West High rivals, Madison Hall of Fame inductee Sandy Botham and her teammates Susie Marlott and Beth Supinski. They all still remember and talk about a game during Karen's junior year, which pitted their high-octane offenses in a game at West. Even without today's social media resources, the friends engaged in, as she recalls, a lot of smack talk on their landlines. Eastside's strategy was to stall and frustrate West. Karen can still hear Botham and Supinski yelling, "O'Malley, what the heck?" The game ended in the low 30s, with O'Malley leading her team in scoring, but her friends winning the game. During their high school careers, she and her rivals pushed each other to achieve their goal of playing collegiate basketball. Each did. Karen became a Badger and lettered 3 years as the starting point guard for the UW in the mid-1980s. As a sophomore, she led the team in steals with 56 and in assists with 108. And as a senior, Karen led the team in assists with 113 and set a team Big Ten record with 14 assists in one game against the Minnesota Gophers. On the Badger career record list, she's tied for third in assists for one game with 14, fourth in assists per game with 3.8, fifth in assists in a season with 113, and tied in steals for a season with 56. In 2014, the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association recognized Karen for her high school and collegiate career by inducting her into their Hall of Fame. In 1992, Karen married her very supportive spouse, Larry Crowley, a La Follette graduate, to begin their own sports family in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. They've raised 4 multi-sport student athletes, Matt, Nick, Samantha, and Cara. And she coached the boys on the youth level and the girls on the youth and high school level. Karen lost the Crowley single-game scoring record to her son Nick, and this year to daughter Cara. She has enjoyed giving back to the game by sharing her knowledge and passion with not only her children, but also other students in town. Karen is honored to be inducted into the prestigious Madison Sports Hall of Fame. Without the support of her mother and father, her siblings, coaches, teammates, the neighborhood boys, and competitors, her sports career and this recognition would not have been possible. Karen is especially proud of East Side roots and her ties to the entire Madison community. She will always be defined by Pergolder pride. The Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club and Strand Associates Incorporated are honored to welcome Karen O'Malley Crowley into the class of 2016.